G'day everyone! Today we're diving into the world of one of the planet's most fascinating and downright bizarre creatures, the platypus. Imagine an animal that looks like it was designed by a committee that couldn't agree on a single idea. It has the sleek, furry body of an otter, the broad, flat tail of a beaver, and the webbed feet and bill of a duck. When the first platypus specimen arrived in Europe from Australia in the late 1700s, scientists were completely baffled. They honestly believed it was a clever hoax, a prankster's creation made by stitching together parts from different animals. It took years of study before they accepted that this incredible animal was, in fact, real. The biggest puzzle for those early naturalists was figuring out how to classify this animal. It had hair and produced milk for its young, which are the defining characteristics of a mammal. However, unlike almost every other mammal on Earth, the platypus lays eggs. This places it in an incredibly exclusive group of mammals called monotremes, a group it shares only with the echidna. The female platypus lays 1 to 3 small, leathery eggs in a nesting burrow and incubates them, much like a bird or a reptile would. This blend of mammalian and reptilian traits makes the platypus a true evolutionary marvel, a living link to a very ancient past. Adding to its strange collection of features is that famous duck-like bill. But don't be fooled, it's nothing like a bird's beak. A duck's bill is hard and bony, but the platypus's bill is soft, rubbery, and incredibly sensitive. It is covered with thousands of receptors that can detect touch and, as we'll discover later, the faint electrical fields generated by other animals. This bill isn't for quacking or pecking, it's a highly advanced sensory organ. And let's not forget those feet. The platypus has webbed front feet perfect for paddling through the water, but when it's on land or digging a burrow, it can retract the webbing to reveal strong claws. But perhaps the most startling feature, and one that demands respect, belongs to the male platypus. On each of his hind legs, he has a sharp, hollow spur connected to a venom gland. While many animals are venomous, it is extremely rare among mammals. This venom is potent enough to cause excruciating pain in humans, a pain so severe that it can last for weeks or even months, and doesn't respond well to traditional painkillers. While it's not typically lethal to people, it's a powerful defense mechanism and a tool used by males when competing for mates. It's a serious reminder that even this cute-looking creature is a wild animal with incredible adaptations for survival. When the platypus slips into the freshwater rivers and streams of eastern Australia, it enters a world of its own. It is a semi-aquatic animal, spending a huge portion of its time searching for food beneath the surface. You might think it uses its eyes to spot prey, but the platypus does something extraordinary. As it dives, it seals its eyes, ears, and nostrils shut completely. It is essentially blind and deaf underwater. So how does it find its meals? The answer lies in that amazing rubbery bill. It's equipped with a sixth sense called electrolocation, allowing it to detect the tiny electrical impulses given off by the muscle contractions of its prey. This incredible ability turns the platypus into a highly effective underwater hunter. As it glides along the riverbed, it sweeps its head from side to side, scanning the mud and gravel for the hidden electrical signatures of small invertebrates. Its diet consists mainly of insect larvae, freshwater shrimp, crayfish, and worms. The bill is so sensitive that it can distinguish between the electrical signals of living prey and the background noise of the environment. This sensory system is a masterclass in evolution, allowing the platypus to thrive in an environment where sight and sound are of little use for hunting. It's a silent, invisible world of electricity, and the platypus is its undisputed master. Once the platypus locates a tasty morsel, it scoops it up, along with a bit of gravel and grit from the river bottom. But here's another strange fact. Adult platypuses have no teeth. So how do they eat? They store their captured prey in special cheek pouches, similar to a hamster. After foraging for a minute or two, they will surface to breathe and chew. They bring the food to the front of their mouths and use the collected gravel to grind it up against rough pads located on their upper and lower jaws. It's like having a built-in mortar and pestle, a clever solution for an animal that gave up its teeth millions of years ago. The feeding process for a baby platypus, called a puggle, is just as unique. After hatching from their eggs, the tiny, blind, and hairless puggles need their mother's milk to survive. However, the mother platypus does not have nipples like other mammals. Instead, she secretes milk through pores in her skin, which then pools in grooves on her abdomen. The babies lap up the milk directly from their mother's fur. This method of feeding is another ancient trait that sets monotremes apart, providing yet another window into the distant evolutionary history of mammals and their diverse strategies for raising their young in a challenging world. The platypus divides its time between the water and the land, making it a truly semi-aquatic specialist. Its home base is a burrow, which it expertly digs into the banks of rivers and streams. These burrows provide a safe refuge from predators and the elements. A platypus typically has a simple resting burrow for daily use, but a female will construct a much more elaborate nesting burrow when she is ready to lay her eggs. This nesting burrow can be incredibly long, sometimes up to 100 feet, and contains multiple chambers and plugs of soil to protect her eggs and young from floods and predators. On land, the platypus moves with a distinctive, almost reptilian waddle. Because its legs are positioned on the sides of its body rather than directly underneath it, its gait is not as efficient as that of many other mammals. To walk, it knuckles under its front feet to protect the delicate webbing between its claws. While it may look a bit clumsy shuffling along the riverbank, don't be mistaken, it is perfectly adapted for its dual lifestyle. This body plan is a trade-off, sacrificing some grace on land for superior performance in the water, where it is a powerful and agile swimmer, using its webbed front feet for propulsion and its back feet and tail for steering. The daily life of a platypus is largely a solitary and nocturnal affair. They spend most of the daylight hours resting securely in their burrows, emerging at dusk to begin their nightly hunt for food. A single platypus can spend up to 12 hours a day in the water, foraging to meet its high energy needs. Their thick, waterproof fur provides excellent insulation, keeping them warm even in cold mountain streams. This dense coat traps a layer of air next to the skin, acting like a diver's dry suit and allowing them to stay comfortable during their long underwater excursions in search of their next meal. The platypus's ability to thrive is a testament to its resilience. For millions of years, these creatures have navigated the challenges of their environment. They survived the rise of the marsupials in Australia, which outcompeted many other ancient mammals. The platypus's secret to survival was its retreat into the freshwater ecosystem. By adapting to a niche lifestyle, hunting in a way that no other mammal did, it carved out a place for itself where it had few competitors. This clever evolutionary strategy ensured that this quirky and wonderful creature would continue to paddle through Australia's waterways long after many of its ancient relatives had vanished. The platypus we see today is like a living fossil, a snapshot of a branch of the mammal family tree that diverged over 160 million years ago. Fossil evidence shows that platypus-like animals have inhabited Australia for an immense amount of time. Paleontologists have even discovered fossils of a giant platypus that was about twice the size of its modern-day relatives. These ancient monotremes swam in the same rivers and streams, showcasing just how successful this unique body plan has been over the millennia. The platypus provides scientists with invaluable clues about the evolution of mammals, including the transition from egg-laying to live birth. The story of its discovery by Western science remains one of the most amusing chapters in natural history. The first platypus pelt sent to Britain in 1799 was met with utter disbelief. The esteemed naturalist George Shaw, who first described it, even took a pair of scissors to the specimen, trying to find the stitches where he was certain the duck's bill had been sewn onto the body of a mole-like creature. It seemed too strange to be a product of nature. This initial skepticism highlights just how much the platypus challenged our understanding of the animal kingdom and forced scientists to broaden their definitions of what a mammal could be. Today, the platypus is celebrated as one of Australia's most iconic and beloved animals, appearing on the country's 20-cent coin. Its quirky appearance has also made it a star in popular culture around the globe. For instance, the popular Pokémon character Psyduck, with its duck-like bill and confused expression, draws clear inspiration from the platypus. This transition from scientific puzzle to cultural icon shows how much our appreciation for this creature has grown. It is no longer seen as a bizarre mistake of nature, but as a symbol of the incredible diversity and wonder of the natural world. As a final fun fact to leave you with, let's talk plurals. If you see more than one of these amazing creatures, what do you call them? Many people are tempted to say platypi, following the Latin rule. However, the word platypus is derived from Greek roots, meaning flatfoot. Therefore, the scientifically accepted and correct plural form is simply platypuses. So the next time you're lucky enough to be discussing these wonderful animals, you'll know exactly what to say. The platypus is a true one-of-a-kind, a delightful reminder that nature's imagination is far wilder than our own. What an adventure. And